This is Dave with No Chaser, and, well, look at the snow. Um, Today's topic is, well, tell me if you've heard this scenario before. So let's say you get sober, you make it through the detox, the withdrawals, you make some clean time, you go through all the bad crap, like the acute bad crap. There's bad crap in the future, of course, with post-acute withdrawal syndrome. But you get through it and you try to go back to normal everyday life. You try to, whether it's taking care of your kids, going back to work, all that type of stuff. And things are, you maybe even emotionally, mentally, you feel pretty good, but you're just kind of tired. Like the energy's not there. And you think that you would have more energy because, especially like if you did opiates or drank alcohol, like you're not like shoveling something that's like a depressant or a painkiller in your body that just makes you like zombified. So like, why not? You should be more ready to do things, right? Maybe you might be a little bit more emotionally on edge or maybe more sensitive to things, but like you should have more energy, but you don't. So I've been in this cycle. I call it a cycle, and I'll explain further. I've been in this cycle and scenario so many times where how it starts out is that, like, man, I'm just tired. And I've always heard the thing is like alcohol is a depressant. Why would you drink it? Because I have depression too. Like, if it's depressing, why would you drink alcohol? It's like, why would I drink a fifth of vodka every day for like 3 years? Nothing I do makes sense when I'm drinking. But the other thing is that alcohol made me feel alive, or at least it got me to do things. It got me to like get up and going, and like plenty of people, like alcohol can make them, I don't know, dance or be more sociable. For me, it gave me kind of like a sort of energy or a spirit, if you will, to like go and do stuff. And when that was taken away from me, I didn't have that anymore. So then this is where the cycle starts. I would start drinking coffee, or maybe I'd be on more of the energy drinks. They've gotten crazy now. Where I remember like a Red Bull with like 80 milligrams of caffeine was crazy. Now they have like monsters with like 400 million taurine, caffeine, just like anyways, probably talking like I drank one. But the thing is that I would start drinking these, and I'd like the little rush, the boost that caffeine would give me. But eventually, like with all things, you crash because there is no biological free lunch. Like, you're going to crash if you put something in your body and it gives you a boost of something. It's going to be taken away. And so, like, I would just be in this struggle. It started like, I would start struggling and it would affect my mood. And if I had to pinpoint it, maybe I would try to go back and retroactively make a narrative about something different. But it was all started with just from the fact that I was tired, that I just had like low energy. And I didn't want to admit that because it's like, well, David, why would you relapse and like turn your life to crap again? Because you're tired, you're sleepy. But that was the truth of it. And like one of the things that I noticed, like, my longer stints of like sobriety, and like one thing that I was doing in particular was just like having a good sleeping schedule. And sleeping was difficult because a lot of times, like especially with drinking, you learn to kind of pass out and you don't really sleep, and your sleep schedule is totally like messed up. I call this, at least in my experience, I call it where you have to kind of go through like a sleep boot camp, where you have to have like 3 days where even if you didn't get enough sleep, you don't take a nap during the day. You just have to grind through it slowly, because if you get in that, like, taking the naps, because I don't take naps. Like, I just take kind of like depression sleeps. Like, I just sleep for 2 hours and I never feel better like after I do it. It's like the reverse of a gym. Like, usually I don't want to go to the gym and it's hard to go to the gym, but afterwards I always feel better. It's exact, like, reverse everything with a nap. And so I would get caught in that cycle too. So I'd wake up for the nap and then I'd pound energy drink, or I'd pound coffee or something like that. And it would just all come back to where it would just start to, like, my mood would erode and things would deteriorate, and it would all come back to just trying to fight like this low energy thing. So it's like, a lot of things, like in recovery, you talk about like setting boundaries, like setting like, parameters of what you need to do, like telling people no. Like, something as like simple as like telling like people that like I need like to go to bed is like a thing you have to do. Now, of course, if you're talking about like, your work schedule, or if you get up early for work, you can't like sleep in, or you take care of your kids, that's one thing. But another thing is like if you're like binge watching something on TV, or you're staying up like playing on the phone. Like, as much as you find that as relieving time, like getting yourself to just go to sleep is a thing that you have to do. And it seems so, I think it's like often overlooked because it's like it's just such a simple thing. Like sleep, you wouldn't think of it as something that would be so like critical to like your well-being, but it truly is, because I remember that so much. I remember, like, you could, I guarantee if you went through my receipts and like my financial history, like during times when I attempted recovery again, you could see the cycles of me buying more and more energy drinks, and like then eventually it turning into buying stuff from the liquor store, because I would just get in this cycle where I could not, like, the lack of sleep, the lack of energy, like truly affected my mood in like awful ways, and I just couldn't get past that. So I don't know. That's one thing that came to mind. I feel particularly all right. I think there's a cat back there. I feel particularly all right today. But big thing is, like, honestly, just telling myself that I have to go to bed when I have to go to bed. And it's as much as I don't want to admit that, as much as I want my journey to recovery to be some big heroic thing, sometimes it's just honestly as simple as that. Anyways, like, subscribe, do all the things that you do on YouTube. Comment below. I'm pretty active on it. Like, I get notifications, so I'll respond to anything you comment, any question, any topic ideas. I'd love to hear from it. Listen to Shoeless in South Dakota podcast. I co-host it with one of my good friends. We talk about a lot of stuff like this and other strange, crazy stuff. And I know, other than that, be well.